Hello, welcome to the Steam Release Podcast. This is a show where we dig through the release list so that you don't have to. And join me today. She's back. She's brilliant and a little bit shady. We have Roadypie.
Hello. I thought it'd be a little bit spooky because I know a lot of people are celebrating Halloween tonight. So for all my spooky friends, I hope you're having a good time.
Yep, it's the last weekend until Halloween, so it's like all the office parties are happening, all that stuff. So, yeah, at my work they want us to do dress up, but so far it's funny. It's funny because like, what can you dress up at an office? Because so far management hasn't really said anything about it. There were costumes last year, but it just hasn't been brought up. So it's like, so do we just like dress as each other? Is that what we're gonna do?
It's like what's allowed?
What's the guidelines?
That's it, isn't it? Because especially for an office, it's like you know.
Yeah, and it's not a super. I've worked at a bank before, and then that's kind of uptight. Like I started just at the time when they would let us to stop wearing ties, and now people who see customers have to wear ties, but we worked in the tech in the back, and they had just allowed us to stop wearing ties. And it's just like. Because, like, before then, like, people were climbing under desks, plugging things in with, like, ties and suit and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, that sounds horrible. So, we still had to wear slacks, except when the Seahawks played, we could wear blue jeans.
Oh, okay.
on Fridays. Yeah, when the Seahawks played on Fridays, we could wear blue jeans. Which is, like, a corporate thing in Seattle. Like, blue jeans are, like... Because it's a similar color to the team colors, the blue.
Yeah.
It's like a way to show, yeah, Seahawks pride kind of thing. It's a weird thing. But yeah. My current job, that whole tangent, my current job is not that uptight. But yeah, I'm just not sure how we do this.
I think just standard vampire, ghost, wizard. Which... You know, it's bog standard.
Yep. Yeah, and then there's I don't know. I never really grew up with trick-or-treating because when you live in a rainforest and the rainy season is October, you don't go trick-or-treating. Like,
no. Well, we don't. I mean, here we don't really. We kind of have it, and we kind of don't. It's like I think it depends what kind of community you're in because. I mean, yeah, there's not many people that are doing it here. It's like mainly, you know, it originated in Ireland, so it's a big Irish thing. It's not something that really a lot here. There might be a few Halloween parties, but that's about it.
Yeah, and how the Irish celebrate, it's a little bit different from American Canadian Halloween is, well, much more commercialized than Irish Halloween, I would imagine, but... Yeah, it's a big deal. Like after I would say Christmas, I think Halloween's probably the second biggest holiday. And then 4th of July and Thanksgiving are up there somewhere. Yeah. But Thanksgiving's more of a private holiday. So
yeah, because it's like, you know, you go home and see your family. I'm sure eventually that'll be commercialized to hell. Someone will do something
someday, but they haven't figured out the formula.
Not yet. Anyway, let's get cracking on.
Cracking. This whole tangent. So what have you been playing this week?
So I did play Final Fantasy 11. I've gotten into a raid group, and it's not kind of like a raid group like you have with WoW. It is it's like 18 people, and it's like it's a whole alliance of people, and you go into like a different world sort of thing, and it's and you take on I wouldn't say it's like a dungeon like, but you go in, it looks like basically the setting looks like a town. They're one of the main town hubs, but except it's like it's sort of instead of NPCs you've got enemies instead. So yeah, it's a bit like that, and it's good if you're in a group with nice people, which I am in. Problem is because so Final Fantasy 11, it is complete cross server sort of thing. There's no, this is a European server, a Japanese server, a US server. So everybody is just on like several servers. And so I don't know of any European people that are doing runs. So you usually have to go in with an English speaking one, which is usually American and Canadians. So I have to go on their time. So a few times I've been up till 4 a.m.
Yeah. It's almost as bad as in like when Australians have to play, because then it's like, well, I guess I'm going to be using Google Translate a lot playing with the Japanese.
It's like I feel sorry for any Australians, because it's like they'd have to be up very early. So yeah.
Let me see.
But I'm playing that, and I did do some streaming. I played Lovecraft Quest, which I think which we did talk about on one of our earlier podcasts.
This one is beautiful.
But it was great because it was like I got a lot of audience participation in it, and it was like one I really wanted to do for like a spoopy kind of thing. But yeah, the problem is like when you first start, you don't know how sort of they've done the map, whether they've whether it changed all the time, or if it was a like sort of a static map. So when you join it, you like can say, okay, we'll just keep going right and see, and we'll map out where that takes us. No, it's every time you sort of die and then and go right in, the map changes. So you and you can either fall down, or you can be attacked by something, or you can come across a dragon. So that was the main issue we had at first, because we didn't know how they were doing the map. So yeah, we were writing it down, and then it's not very intuitive at first. I think there needed to be a bit more explanation. They did explain, say, when you smell a bad smell or something, one of the rooms is going to have a monster in it. So it's like, and we also, spoiler alert, so we picked up a map. You don't get a map at first, but you pick up a map, and if you look at the map too long, you can get attacked by a monster and die. So it was just like
oh my word.
But yeah, it was super frustrating at first, and when we didn't figure out how the map worked, so like where to go and everything. But then we figured it out, and it's like, okay, yeah, we got through it. There's like 3 floors that you go through, and the last puzzle is absolutely annoying, because you go through the door and then you've only got a certain amount of time to sort of get out, and it gives you like left, right, or middle options. And then if you get it wrong, you have to go back all the way again and do the puzzle again, which opens the door. Now, the puzzle that opens the door, we wouldn't have been able to manage without the guide. And I think the guide was wrong on one of the things, so we had to sort of like still work it out. But yeah, oh my god, absolute nightmare. But we got it done. And it's short. It's quite a short game. So I played that, and I played Cosmic Express as well. I completed that in my own time.
Express. Oh, this looks cute.
Yeah. I feel like that we maybe did talk about this, but maybe it was done by a dev that had done something else. I can't remember. But yeah, it was super cute.
And
it's
darling.
Yeah. It's it gets very difficult as it goes along. So I had to look at guides and stuff. And I just was enjoying the animations instead. So I think if you're the sort, I like puzzle games, but I don't think like mine is very can do these kind of like puzzles. There's some that you think that would be quite easy to do, but some of that most of them are really, really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is one of those things that the developer just wants you to fail at, sort of thing.
Oh, it is a really creative because it is also just like so limited in scope. It's like, oh, what can I do to make this complex? And that's very neat that they do work with that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it is really cute. It's really good. And I started Midnight Mysteries, the Edgar Allan Poe conspiracy, and decided that it wasn't worth my time to complete it because it's one of those hidden object games that has removed a lot of the content. It's removed like because hidden object games, they have like a bit of point and click element to it and some puzzle elements to it. Let me write this. Midnight Mysteries. Midnight Mysteries.
Okay, Midnight Mysteries. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, but instead it is just hidden object game after hidden object game after hidden object game.
Mm-hmm.
With barely any story in between. There seems like there's a story, but there's not really.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is. I mean, if you're one of these people that really, really likes just doing the hidden object game puzzles, then yeah, this is definitely one for you. But otherwise,
there's just not enough narrative.
No, well, there's nothing else. It's not narrative. It's like there's no point and click elements to it. There's no other puzzles to it. It's just the hidden object game mechanic. Just one after the other. So yeah, it's boring.
Right? Yeah. Did you have another one that you finished?
No,
okay.
they were they were the ones that I've done.
Okay,
did I speak about we did speak about playing No Time to Relax.
Oh, that's right. Time to Relax.
No Time. Yes. So I played that with Tom, the Radio Tom. And it was it was good if you play it with somebody else, but it doesn't give you any sort of instructions. The only, I think Tom played it by himself, and you can read the instructions, but that's it. It's like a massive wall of text. It's instead of like we'll give you a tutorial.
Yeah.
Because when I was playing it with Tom, it's like I had sort of a goal for myself, what I was going to do. I didn't know what you had to sort of the metrics on what you were supposed to do to win it. And it was just like, oh, okay. So yeah, there's a lot of things that need ironing out. Also, they have like you can do a short round, you can do medium round, you can do a long round, but they don't change anything other than how many turns that you take. If you're changing about how many rounds you do, you should kind of have a more condensed version of the game if you're doing a shorter round.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like I feel like I got nowhere with this game. But yeah, it was fun because I was playing with Tom, but otherwise it was I feel like so many things need to be adjusted and definitely need
so it doesn't quite live up to sort of a PC game of life type thing.
Not really. I mean I think if they just tweaked a few things, it would be so much better. But they have been listening to people on the discussion boards, and I hope they're going to me and Tom wrote up things that could be adjusted and everything, so I hope he sends that to them.
Yep. And welcome, Goddess Weep. Yeah, mentioning that hidden object games, when it is just hidden objects, yeah, it is a good way to kill time for 15 minutes, but a lot of them have really great narratives and additional mechanics, so it is kind of disappointing when you come across one that's just kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. As for me, let me see. The games I've been playing have been, of course, Heroes for Hammerwatch. I am still on that train. Grim Dawn. Ooh, and Faria. We've never talked about this because this, I think, came out well before the podcast started. But this is a delightful trading card game where it has sort of this tactical element where some of the cards become pieces and you move them on this grid. And of course the lands, if you're familiar with TCG games, the lands are a source of energy. You lay down the lands on the board to actually make the board.
That sounds interesting.
It's really cool. It's very sweet. It's got a very excellent tutorial. I've only been playing the missions. It's got a lot of PvE missions, like hundreds of hours of PvE missions to do. So no real narrative or story. There's environmental storytelling. There's some lore books you can get, but for the most part, you're just like playing a challenge, seeing if you can beat it, playing the next challenge, seeing if you beat it, and collecting cards. And Faria is kind of cool because you can gain the base game has 300 cards, and you can earn all of them through playing the game. You do not have to buy anything. They do an expansion model, so you buy an expansion and that gives you the ability to start earning cards from that expansion sort of thing. That's how it works. So they don't do the like you buy cards, card packs or anything like that. There is a internal currency that you can do, but there's no reason to because you can earn the cards at a very decent pace, and they're very open about that. So So you can rush ahead, buy all the cards if you want, but really it just takes 50 hours of gameplay and you will get all 300. So, yeah.
You've got to catch them all. No, that sounds like that sort of aspect of like card games does appeal to me. Just like the collecting of cards. That kind of I like doing stuff like that.
And they're so beautiful. They're beautiful. There's the artwork is great. The lore tidbits are nice. There's also the sound effects and the animations are really pleasant. It's just so pretty. It's a very pretty, relaxing. It's a relaxing game, especially when you're playing against AI, and because there's so much AI content, it's just a relaxing game just to chill out. And the base game is free. They only with its 300 cards. So, and then you can buy expansions that give you more cards. But yeah. It's a good game. I like it. And yeah, that's probably about all I've really been playing. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, before we get into the list, though, we do have a few honorable mentions to talk about, and not all of them are from this week. Apparently, I forgot about this next one, Disco Elysium. I did not see this one when it was originally released on October 15th. Yeah. So, Disco Elysium is a groundbreaking open-world role-playing game. You're a detective with a unique skill system at your disposal and a whole city block to carve your path across. Interrogate unforgettable characters, crack murders, or take bribes. Become a hero or an absolute disaster of a human being. I like that.
It looks like really good, but it also looks like it's such a massive scope of a game as well, and I would be very worried that it's just like so much to read in it. as well.
Yeah, and as Godless We've said, yeah, no one knew about this game when it came out, but it's got over 1,000 reviews now. So I did not hear any like mutters about it, but now that I looked up like stuff on it, it was just like, oh wow, there's a ton of people who really like this game. So it was surprising, just kind of dropped out of nowhere.
I mean, this is why I put it on honorable mentions, because it's, you know, there's already a lot of people that have taken it up already, but yeah, it's, I don't know, it's, this kind of thing does really interest me because it, you know, the story and you're also a detective and everything, and but I worry also about like your character that you're playing, you're not so nice. You know what I mean? You can not only can go down that road, but you also you kind of do go down that road. There's no sort of way to be like super squeaky clean nice kind of thing. And then it kind of goes against who I kind of play in games. You know, I'm more, you know,
I always play light side when I play like RPGs like that have that sort of light side dark side option. And this one looks like it's probably more shades of gray. Like even if you're trying to do as nice a thing, that I feel like this is the type of game that's going to deliver a whole ton of moral dilemmas.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And you're like, I don't like either option.
that's what one of Get Indie Gaming, he said he played it and he felt like there wasn't like any good options for him in some of the scenarios. So it just like the game felt very frustrating because of that.
And especially it can also be really frustrating if it's a situation where it's like, why couldn't I just do this? Like there's an apparent like way to do it causing minimal harm, and for some reason, for plot reasons, it's not available to you. You're just like, why though? Gotta move the plot forward. There is some of that.
Yeah, I'd also worry about the pacing of the plot.
Pacing,
as well.
yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious. I'm wondering if it's like too long to watch someone play this. This has got to be a very long game.
It's it definitely looks like it's one of those very long story games, but I think there's some people who definitely want to check it out.
Yeah. It's £35 or $34.99.
Oh yeah, and Godless Sweet is bringing up that this is more KOTOR 2 than KOTOR 1. For those who played KOTOR 2, KOTOR 2, you end up doing like a lot of things that are kind of bad, but get light side points for it. And you're like, And then there's things you get dark side points where it's like, no, I was being nice. What the? So they add like this. It's very subversive KOTOR 2 as opposed to KOTOR 1. But it's but yeah, that's what he's referencing. Anyhow, this is probably kind of similar to that. All right, our next honorable mention is Secret Neighbor. Is it just I've been looking, there was a ton of posts for Secret Neighbor, and there seems to be like different, like they're posting up the different alphas and the different game modes that they had available that the studio's made, but they're all like these separate listings. So yeah, this is a Secret. We've been hearing about this game for years. But yeah, Secret Neighbor is a multiplayer social horror game where a group of intruders try to rescue their friend from the neighbor's creepy basement. Only problem is one of the intruders is the neighbor in disguise. Yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah.
This looks like it could be really fun. I probably would play it with friends. Well, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do with it, but the jump scare,
Yeah, no, I couldn't deal with this either.
Even though it is cartoony, it's funny, but like it's just like the dread, like, oh crap.
Yeah, same. And I know I would kind of like just completely mess up. But yeah, this is 10% off right now, so it's £13.94.
I've messed up so many times playing games like these and just made it terrible for everyone. I did it a lot. But yeah, that is Secret Neighbor. That is out.
How much is it in the US?
Oh, in the US it is $17.99. Yeah, and then there's Hello Neighbor. Apparently it gets bundled with a couple of other things, so that you can also get. But yeah. Next title, honorable mention, is Moons of Madness. Moons of Madness is a first-person story-driven cosmic horror game where the scientific exploration of Mars meets the supernatural dread of Lovecraft. Oh, that sounds delightful. So I imagine this is set on Phobos and Deimos, which are the two moons. Yeah, Moons of Madness. Yeah, the two moons of Mars. Trivia: Phobos is fear, and Deimos is terror, I believe. Like they're the gods of fear and terror. No, fear and Deimos is something else. I have to look it up now. But no, but yeah, it sounds scary.
I saw Jimbo playing this, and it seems quite interesting. Oh, hello, Puzzled Monkey Tree. Thank you.
Yes, Puzzled Monkey Tree. Dread. Okay, dread. Yeah, fear and dread. Yes, fear and dread, which are apparently different emotions. They are different emotions. But yes, Puzzled Monkey Tree. Hello, welcome. It was I had the pleasure of meeting Puzzled Monkey Tree in the flesh in lovely San Diego.
Nice.
Now he's back in jolly old England. But yeah.
This is that sort of first person kind of scary game that is done really, really well. I've seen a lot of people on here on Steam page saying the game has crashed for them a few times, unfortunately. So maybe I know it's Halloween and you probably want to get a spooky game. Maybe let them fix a few bugs and stuff. So it seems like a good game.
I might also have a little bit of trivia on this game because in the video they showed an ID for the Orochi group. If you've played the Secret World MMO, the Orochi group is one of the villains, and this is published by Funcom. So I'm like, is this in the same universe as the Secret World? And I mean, Lovecraft on Mars sounds like Secret World, so this might be same universe, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, I had heard that there was some links to it. Yeah,
that is really cool. I need to get back and finish the Secret World. I didn't get out of it just because it wasn't that as bad. Like the story is very, very good. It's just I had other things and other MMOs to play, but I do want to get into it because it's just genuinely a good story. So I need to get back into that. Anyhow.
Yeah, that's 20% off right now, $17.59.
Yes, and 20% off. It is $19.99 US. Yeah, we are actually 320. Yes, indeed, we are. Corpse Party 2: Dead Patient is our next honorable mention. High schooler, of course, Ayame awakens from a coma in a seemingly abandoned hospital. Strapped to an operating table, it turns out she's not as alone as she thought, but she'll come to wish she were. Step into the latest episodic installment in the Corpse Party saga and try your best to survive treatment. This sounds like a bundle of joy.
So yeah, another spoopy game for all those spoopy people. Yeah, it's a mix between RPG. There looks like there's some almost visual novel things going on.
Yeah, I do like. Oh, there's a spider with a baby's head. Great. But
Isn't there always?
isn't there always? Yes. But yeah, it looks like it might be pretty fun. It's got, I like that it has this top-down gameplay, so it's almost like playing a Pokemon game, like the new gen 3D Pokemon game, but you're moving around.
Yeah, with the little chibi characters.
Yeah, and then you have the dialogue set, so that's kind of neat. Looks creepy.
And it's 10% off right now, so it's £8 and 9p. Which is not that bad, really.
Yeah, $8.99.
I don't know how long it is though. I'm seeing various times put in. Oh, so I've seen it's quite short. It says seeing someone say disappointed that it was so short, but it's only the first chapter. Well, it's only one. This is one chapter here. So,
oh, really? It doesn't seem to show that it's a single chapter, so that's kind of odd.
Yeah.
I wonder. Let me see. Can we see when that review was posted? If it was a recent review, then it should be valid. But maybe it was in early access.
Someone posted that on the 24th of October. It says it's a good game, but it only has chapter 1.
Yeah, that seems kind of short.
Yeah, and that person played just under 3 hours of it. So yeah.
Yeah, 3 hours is a little bit short.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
That is Corpse Party. Now we have our proper release list. We have some excellent games to talk about. A lot of really small dev teams, which is cool. Well, this week is just a ton of really small indie dev teams, so I'm excited to talk about them. And to kick it off with Sunday, October 20th, we have Eldervale by Soulkita Studios, out of Budapest, Hungary. And this is actually created by a single dev. Eldervale is a third-person survival horror adventure game. It's made in the style of early 2000s classics. Explore large, interconnected levels, solve puzzles, uncover the story, and survive the horrors by strategic use of your resources and fight or flight decisions.
So it looks like this is it looks slightly crunchy. I didn't know whether this was like very well done, you know, because there's certain things that, you know, you might think, is this a using assets and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, that is true. It's very dark. The lighting effects are really amateur. But I decided to go out on a limb, since it does have a 95% review score at the moment. I'm like, people do seem to like it. Looked in the reviews, and at the very least, the movement animations are well done. So I'm like, okay, movement animations are done. Are good, and maybe it is kind of cheap of them to go like, oh, it's in the style of the early 2000s, and it's like, yeah, that's the way to say that. Like,
that's the way to sell it.
Yeah.
It's the banner as well for for the title thing. It looks terrible.
It does. It looks bad.
I'm not sure how long it is. I'm seeing because a lot of people that posted have it's like early access reviews. So this has just come out of early access, obviously, but seeing around about 5 hours, under 5 hours.
Yeah. Despite its artistic shortcomings, I will say the color work is good. That's another thing that kind of made it stand out to me. It's like it doesn't. The colors all match. The set pieces all work together. Everything looks like it belongs together, which is another thing that kind of shown was like, okay, actual care went into this. I don't think this is an asset flip for that reason. In that maybe they borrowed some assets, but they did a lot of work on those assets to make them fit together and look like they match. So, but yeah, that's Eldervale. But yeah, a solo dev and
Eldervale.
Eldervale, yes, Eldervale. I'm mispronouncing it.
But yeah, it's $11.99, which I think is a bit pricey for maybe a 4-hour game or something under 4 hours.
And $14.99. There is a free demo available on the developer's website. It's not on Steam, but you can download it from their website.
Okay, so that's good. So you at least know what you're getting into.
Yep. So you can check it out. Maybe do the Halloweeny stream with a demo or something, and be able to make your decision. But yeah, there's Eldervale. Or next title, from Monday, October 21st, is I'm spelling that wrong. Warbrush. Warbrush is a local multiplayer tank brawler that took inspirations from the classic Combat 1977, yet another retro title, with an added painting mechanic to create an action-packed and visually exciting experience.
It's interesting. It kind of looks like Splatoon, but with like small pixelated tanks.
It's a really cute idea. I like it, and they have 8 game modes, I do believe. So they've got a variety of game modes and objectives, and yeah, it's just kind of clever. It's like, oh hey, this is a popular modern game. Let's backdate it.
Yeah.
Also, everyone knows what people are going to be drawing when they play this game. So.
This is true. This is so true. But yeah, it's I like this idea. I do. It's a cool party game. Although I think it's local only. It says multiplayer and local multiplayer, but so I'm not sure. And it says 4-player local.
Yeah.
On the tags, so I'm not sure.
Now, eventually, co-op with a new feature coming to Steam, you'll be able to play local co-op over the internet. But I don't know if that's out yet. But that is something that Steam's working on getting. So all these local co-op games will become online games, using the Steam content streaming. So
okay.
But yeah, so maybe this will be an interesting one. But kudos, it's not a looker, but it's got some neat design. It's got some just neat design job. And there's full AI. So if you want to play single player, there's AI set up for that.
And it's 15% off right now, so it's £3.39.
Yep, $4.24. I couldn't find any information on the Clearline Studio to share, so. All right. Tuesday, October 22nd, we have Abandoned Ship. All right, the dev is streaming, so I gotta adjust the camera. There we go. Take command of an Age of Sail ship and her crew, exploring a vast, story-filled world that reacts to your decisions. Engage enemy vessels, fortifications, and sea monsters in brutal tactical combat, all framed in an art style inspired by classic naval oil paintings. Oh, they went highbrow at the end right there.
Oh. It does look very nice. I like the textures in all of the in the setting. It's pretty cool.
It's got that too pretty to be real thing going. Yeah, with their color work. That's kind of what it is. Oh, great! There's spiders. Great. Spiders can attack you while you're on the high seas. Wonderful. I hate it. Just hate it. Yes, thanks. I hate it. Yes. But yeah, customizing boats. It's beautiful art style. Again, it's like, I guess not quite, but we keep seeing the top-down games just look beautiful now. Like, it used to be a way for you to avoid having to render too much, so it was like a way to make things look more stylized. But ever since Divinity Original Sin, everyone's just like, let's make it really pretty from top down, and just a lot of games are doing this.
It looks amazing. It looks amazing, and I'm curious if our pirate game-loving friend, Top Gun Bunny, would give this a go. I wonder if it's. I know he likes pirate ships and things like that. I'm wondering if this style of game would be right up his alley.
I'll just send him a link.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's it looks a great strategy game. It really does. Although it's not something I personally would play.
Yeah.
There's so much effort has gone into this. And it's 10% off right now, so it's $17.99. I wonder, it's a single player campaign, is it? It's like a story mode, or
according to reviews, it is like pretty story. There's a lot of plot. So I do believe there's some sort of story campaign. Let me see. Although it is kind of free roaming, so there's stories you encounter, but there may not be this overarching narrative.
It says play multiple stories, including the main campaign's tale of overthrowing a Cthulhu-esque cult. Free play mode about rebuilding the legacy of your forebears, and shorter tales such as the combat campaign focused on rescuing your sister, or Sword of the Cult, where you play as one of your father's children, climbing the ranks until you've granted the ultimate weapon, the Kraken. Wow, that sounds really great. It's like, so I like that. It's got loads of like different stories that you can play through. That sounds so
That
great.
is neat. Not just one campaign, multiple campaigns, pretty much. That is cool. It's very awesome. Yeah, and a lot of chops went into this. So it's technically a 3-dev team. Gary Burchell, Adam Thacker, and Amanda Ho. Project lead, tech lead, and concept artist, respectively. But they also had 4 freelancers who've worked on some other stuff. Their composer is Aaron Miller. He did the music for Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. Alex Chaplin, she did 3D animation UI. She's worked on several games, but this is probably her biggest, this is probably a crowning achievement. Looking at the other games, they're a bit more smaller projects. And Mark Angus is the audio designer. So, and he's independent, so he has his own audio design studio. Yeah. So all in all, 7 people made this game.
Wow, that's incredible considering how it looks and everything. I'm seeing some very good reviews for it. There is some complaints about the save system, though. They said that needs to be this really needs to be fixed.
Okay.
But they're still saying, the people that give it, and also there's permadeath as well.
Oh,
which
probably for your crew members, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I was gonna say it's like, what, that if you're, especially if you're doing playing a story, that's very annoying.
Yep. And Puzzle Monkey Tree is being very helpful. He's confirming that remote play together is now available in beta, so you can play a lot of those couch co-op games now. Yeah.
And someone also said there needs to be a way to determine the size and strength of the ships you were approaching, or otherwise this is just a waste of time. I lost the first half hour of ship and crew upgrading because an encounter description led me to believe I was facing off against a ship the same size, but then pummeled me quickly to death with a large warship with 8 mortars. This just doesn't work well with games forcing Iron Man mode only.
Okay. So there's definitely some frustration with it. Maybe there's a bit of a steep learning curve as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. At the moment, it is 87% positive among recent reviews, and it is it's $22.49 US. I never said that, but yeah.
Okay.
What about the dev? They're broadcasting. No face cam.
Oh.
Right. But yeah, they're from the southeastern England too. So.
Okay. Oh yeah, I don't know if I said 10% off right now, $17.99.
Oh yeah, you did. I just forgot to give the American.
Yeah, sorry.
The next title is Demons Never Lie, and we come from 7 developers to a single solo developer, Micah Hernandez, from Spain. But yeah. Demons Never Lie is a creepy, graphic adventure made with voxel and low poly, where even your soul is at stake. An incredible and dark story with elements of the classic point-and-click and visual novels. An exciting interactive experience with unique atmosphere. It is by Indie Bug Studios, also known as Micah Hernandez. But yeah, she was a solo game dev, and she worked for 10 years. Before this, she worked for 10 years just developing business software or non-game software, and she just decided to make a game in 2017, and this is the result.
Okay. It looks interesting, but I'm not sure if it's a kind of point-and-click game that I would pick up and play. I don't know.
I may have to see a bit more gameplay. I did see that there was some puzzle stuff, and there's the visual novel stuff, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure how it does all come together. But yeah.
Yeah, there's too much kind of cutscene stuff going on. It doesn't really. I can't really see enough gameplay. I'm looking at the other trailer. Yeah, it seems interesting. It seems interesting, but I don't know.
And you have an inventory and such, and apparently, like, I guess when you die, you do a deal with the devil, and he lets you go back in time to when you're young and start your life over. But now you've made a deal with the devil, so you have to do things for him. And so that's it's a neat story. I find that kind of fascinating.
So yeah, that's 10% off right now. It's £10.79. I'm just seeing like how long it is, because it's like with a lot of point and click games, you know, there's always
Yeah, I'm not certain voxel was the choice for the, because like you have low poly and then voxel, and I think the characters being low poly as well might have been better. I'm not sure, as Godlessweet was bringing up, but
okay, so I'm seeing like at maximum like just under 6 hours. So yeah, I'm not sure.
Yep.
Not sure.
And $13.49 US.
Yeah.
It's it does look pretty nice, and I mean Micah is not an artist, so she's a computer engineer, so I am just really impressed with what has been done here. She's probably maybe she contracted some art, or she does do some art herself, because the portraits are well done. I would actually like it if the characters looked a bit more like the portraits, though.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that is Demons Never Lie out of Madrid, Spain. Our next title is Tangle Tower. Unravel a thrilling mystery by exploring a strange and twisted mansion, discovering curious clues, interrogating peculiar suspects, and solving unique puzzles. Will you be able to uncover the secrets of the Tangle Tower? I'll be frank, I didn't see this one, so Roady found it for me.
So this is this is a sequel to Detective Grimoire. I played this played the previous point and click game on stream, and I absolutely loved this. Absolutely loved this because there's also a sort of Ace Attorney sort of aspect to it as well, where you have all the so the things that you've asked of someone, and you're kind of piecing these little clues together, and maybe you're to ask them something yourself and say, hang on a second, what about this? You didn't, so yeah. And the last one, the voice acting was really great, but that had a Kickstarter, whereas this one came out like without any fanfare at all, because there was lots of people, a lot of people who back that Kickstarter, and then people were asking in the Discord saying, not in the Discord, sorry, in the discussion page on Steam, so when's the next one coming out? Because you kind of left it on this sort of cliffhanger. When's the next one? And then when just before they brought this out, they announced it, which is a bit.
They should have probably for a few months, hey, it's coming, for
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Puzzled Monkey Tree has played it as well, or backed it anyway. If you haven't played it, definitely play it, because it's such a good game. But yeah, this has already gone on my wish list, and it's 20% off right now and it's £12.39.
Yeah. I love the art style as well. This is it's fantastic. It's hard to explain. It's very abstract, but it's still pleasant. It's very pleasant.
The artwork, the sort of game, the artwork for it isn't the same as the second game, because the previous the Kickstarter game was like a sequel to a Flash game, so yeah, which is on their website. But yeah, this is I'm just checking to see around about how long it is. And of course, point and clicks, they vary with how long people can get through them, but I'm seeing anything from 13 hours to 5 or 6 hours. So yeah.
Well, it's 20% off right now, and it's $15.99 USD. So I mean, maybe it's in the ballpark. But it is really pretty.
Yeah.
Oh my word. Okay, so yeah, that's Tangle Tower by SFB Games. Also, little thing, it's two brothers that made this game, and I imagine the previous one. So yeah, it's just two brothers and co-devs. So, yep, that's kind of cool. They keep in the family. Next title is AI War 2. The most devious and acclaimed artificial intelligence in strategy gaming returns. With a host of mutual enemies, AI War 2 is a grand strategy RTS hybrid against an overwhelming inhuman enemy who has conquered the galaxy. Yep. It's a sequel. There was a number one.
And this has already gotten a lot of very positive reviews from people already. 311 user reviews, and 92% positive.
Yeah. Unfortunately, grand strategy is not really my niche, so I don't have too much to say about it. But the But the devs are from North Carolina, and they specify that it's Arcen. So some people say arson. They're like, no, it's Arcan Games. So it's funny when you have to express like, this is how it's pronounced, Arcan. Oh, and I went to the website. That it was the first thing that they said in the about section. And I was like, ha! And it was founded by a fella named Chris Park.
Oh, okay. It looks like very well done and everything else. So, you know, people have such positive response to it. But yeah, unfortunately, it's not really, again, in my wheelhouse. This is a purely like single player campaign. And I'm just seeing if there's any sort of complaints. Someone gave it a thumbs down because the text was too small.
That should be adjustable. Well, they should have that be adjustable is what I mean. If it's not adjustable, that's a bad issue. The accessibility.
Yeah, I think there seems like a few things that just need ironing out. There's no like terrible
game breaking issues.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good to see. So that means it came out of early access at the right time.
Yeah.
So good job.
It's 40% off right now, so it's £9.29. So yeah, if you're into space games, it's that promotion ends on the 1st of November.
Yep, so, and that is $11.99 US. Yeah. Okay, so we're on to Wednesday, October 23rd, middle of the week, hump day, and we're starting off with Ailment.
A lot of games came out on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, Wednesday and Thursday tend to be the big days, but usually Thursday's bigger, but Wednesday. So this is by Beardy Bird Games, out of Bournemouth, United Kingdom. Ailment is a pixel art action game which takes place on a spaceship in a far, far galaxy. The main character wakes up in a spaceship. I don't like that's repeating, but after being unconscious for 3 days and all of his crew became enemies, he has to remember what happened and find out the truth. Besides annoying my English major sensibilities, it's interesting. It sounds interesting.
Yeah. There's always this trope, isn't it? Oh yeah, you're in a coma and you wake up, and there's been a theme of that in these games that we've been talking about. Couple of maybe three of them we've had. You wake up. But yeah, no, I'm sure this kind of like action game, it looks pretty good. I'm sure like there are people that really like this kind of thing, and I'm glad we're shining a spotlight on it.
Yep.
And it's 10% off now, and it's only £4.31. So if it is something that you kind of like, I definitely recommend picking up. Unfortunately, don't know of there's not any user reviews right now, so can't really like give any sort of advice for what it is.
And it's got really nice pixel art, and it looks like you're able to collect some people that end up working with you, like other survivors. And there's also like a scene where you're like talking like, oh no, like you recognize some of the zombies, like you know who that person is, like having to shoot. It's like, oh no, that's such drama.
It is 2 to 3 hours long.
2 to 3 hours, okay. Well, US it's only $5.39, so I don't know, it's like a coffee. Maybe it's pretty. And it's a shame that's been passed up so far. But again, I don't like the zombie theme. It's I know there's a lot of people who do like it, but me, I'm like, zombies, I'll pass. But it's still cool.
This was this was a mobile game, and it had multiplayer on the mobile game, and but they didn't do it for the PC yet. So they said they're going to see how it goes, and so they're not sure it's going to be popular on PC, but we'll see. So
yeah, I did look up their mobile sales, and they seem to have done pretty well on mobile. They got a lot of reviews for their mobile products, so they're trying to break into PC. But it can be difficult to make your presence known on Steam.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, this is created by a single dev, Ivan Panasenko. He's originally from Ukraine, but he now lives in the United Kingdom, and he's also a CG artist. So he does like 3D shorts. Some of them look really good. Like you can look at his portfolio, and he's got all these cool little 3D mini movies. So yeah. Our next title is Lornsword Water Chronicle. Lornsword Winter Chronicle. I can't read. I'm sorry. Lornsword Winter Chronicle is a story-driven action strategy game. Be the general in the battlefield and take direct action to command your soldiers and set up your economy. The Lorn Empire counts on you. Keep your mind pure and your Lornsword sharp.
The cutscene bits they're so beautiful. And it's very, very interesting, like art style for it as well. But then, you know, when you go to see the gameplay, I really like the animation for it. Like the fighting animation. It seems, I don't know, it just seems a bit different. It's everything like flows really nicely.
It definitely has more of a sort of rush feel, like it. Normally, because you're like looking up at a distance, the character's a bit blockier, but here their legs and limbs are a bit longer, so it really enhances their movement when they're running. It feels, it definitely has that flow that just looks really nice. And the fact that your character can run faster than the other characters, that also makes it kind of cool, where you can use skills and run around, so it's all like an ARPG plus an RTS, so that's kind of cool.
And there's local co-op as well, which is nice, because these some of these games they're really nice when you can play co-op on them, but you know, again, only local co-op, but soon we will be able to play. Soon we will play all together, so that'd be good.
Yeah, I do hope that doesn't mean that devs will stop like making sure they have set up their own online networking system. Unless the co-op system that Steam is setting up is really, really good and doesn't have latency and it's awesome. If that happens, then yeah, I could see a lot of netcoders losing their jobs. Because it's like, oh, Steam already did it all for us. All the netcoders go to work for Steam. Work at Valve. But yeah, this is by a developer out of France, Tower 5.
So this is $24.99. The price point for this is quite steep, and I'm seeing quite a lot of early access reviews and not so many like recent reviews. But yeah, I've seen like some people play for like 35 hours, and some people just play maybe 2 hours or something. Or
did you say
that.
It was $24.99?
Yes, $24.99.
Oh, they did not adjust for the UK then, because it is also $24.99 in the US.
Wow.
So it should be $19.99 in the UK probably.
It's still quite a lot, I think.
Yeah.
For their first game as well.
Yep. I think it's a price point that people who are into this genre are used to paying, but at the same time they are an unknown dev, and there are a lot of these games out there. So it's a hard sell when it's your premiere. Maybe put the price a little bit lower. And when you have the trust of the viewership, then you can put it up at a premium, because then people know that you have the quality premium you can put on it.
Yeah.
It does look really nice. Really, really nice. Doke. So then, the next title.
You can, sorry, you can choose your difficulty through the story. As well.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I wanted to say.
Hey, Buffoon Batman. Yeah, this is Lornsword Winter Chronicle. It is a RTS plus ARPG elements, but mostly an RTS. Yep. And our next title is Lonely Mountains Downhill. Yeah, just you and your bike take it on a thrilling ride. This is probably copyright music. Boop. Taking on a thrilling ride down an unspoiled mountain landscape. Make your way through thick forests, narrow trails, and wide rivers. Race, jump, slide, and try not to crash, all the way from the peak to the valley.
When you crash, those pops of blood, it's like...
Yeah, there's just explosion of blood, which I appreciate the touch. Until I saw that, I was like, so this is like a less pretty Descenders, and that's kind of harsh. But there's another game we talked about called Descenders, which is very similar in scope to this, but it's realistic art style. But seeing the crashes in this game and the level philosophy is a bit different. Like this one's a bit more arcadey, a bit crazier, while Descenders is a bit more grounded in reality and physics. So I can see that there's appeals to both of these. But yeah, mostly positive.
It looks really fun. Yeah, it's 123 people giving reviews and 88% positive. Pretty good.
I'm impressed with how varied they made the environments too, with just the low poly art style. I'm pretty impressed, I have to say.
It looks so good. Like
they added good fog effects.
It looks like a model. You know the way they've got the perspective thing going on. So it looks like one of those village model kind of things that you do, that hobbyists do.
Yep.
Pretty good.
One of my roommate is actually one of those train town hobbyists. Thankfully he doesn't have it set up in an apartment because it would take up the whole thing, but at his parents' house.
It's kind of a shame. It's kind of a shame he doesn't have it.
Yeah, he could have it running. Choo choo. I think it's in his dad's basement, so I'll set up down there. But yep. But yeah, so that is Lonely Mountains. This is by Lonely Mountains is made by Megagon Industries out of Berlin, Germany, and it is a 2-person team: Daniel Helbig and John Bubenik.
It's £17.99. Again, price point. It just kind of would put me off because I'm not sure. You know, if I was to play it, how many hours I would want to put into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know,
it's $19.99, and there's multiple game modes and difficulties. So I think there's probably a lot of hours of content to this. But this is also Megagon's first game.
This was a Kickstarter.
Oh, so, it was.
Yeah, so that would probably explain why there's quite a few people that have put in their reviews and everything. But yeah, I wonder. I am curious to how much they have the price point was for them to get the game through Kickstarter, as opposed to what they're charging on Steam.
Oh, true. Generally, you can get it cheaper on Kickstarter, so I would guess maybe $10 would get you the game copy. But
not all the time.
Not all the time?
Not because for someone that has over 100 Kickstarters, sometimes I think quite a few of the games I've backed, they've actually gone cheaper on Steam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so yeah, it depends. It depends on the game.
All right. Our next title is Dredgers by Pirate Rob. Based on traditional roguelikes, Dredgers is a real-time dungeon crawler where you can play as 30 different races, each having their own stats and skills. With unique class system, you can mix and match classes as you desire. Anything from an archer knight to a berserker summoner priest is possible. Wow.
I like the fact that there are so many different races, all different sorts of unique stats and skills. The thing I'm not sure about the maps though, because they said it's like 7 randomly generated zones. But I don't know. I think I feel like there should have been a bit more work done into the maps, maybe.
Yeah, those are probably like the 7 environments, because I'm seeing like up to like 15 floors in the UI.
Oh, okay.
Like floor 1, level 15, floor 1, level 5. That might be a difficulty as well, though. So maybe there's 7 floors and the levels go up more and more difficult. But yeah,
It looks so small though.
it does. It's so tiny.
Yeah, I'm not liking that.
Yeah, it is. It is a very, very like small, like 8-bit. It does. It looks like it's emulating a sort of 8-bit art style, which I think I would have preferred it if it was closer to, you know, how Hammerwatch does it.
Yeah. Because I think we've talked about this before. It's like when they decide to zoom out on the map more, they make this like so much smaller. So, but it doesn't look great when you do that.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's I think it'll appeal to some people. And I do like roguelikes, but as someone who is really big into roguelikes, besides the class system, which seems insane and awesome, I'm not really, it's not really floating my boat. And it's probably I think it's mostly to do with the aesthetic. So,
yeah.
Yep. It is $10.79 though, if you'd like to check it out, Dredgers.
Yep. It's 10% off right now so it's £8.36. Not seeing various hours played on this. Yeah.
It's a roguelite, so it's going to be generally a pretty long experience, because start over. Our next title is Norman's Night In, if I can type correctly. There we go. Norman's Night In. Norman finds himself lost in a cave with nothing but his new bowling ball and a weird feeling that somehow he was meant to be there. All right, then.
Yeah, you sort of throw the ball into his stomach to get him moving around.
Okay, then, yeah.
Yeah. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, that's a really bizarre is the right word, I think. That's very strange. Word. It looks pretty fun. It is by Backtrain Games out of Palo Alto, California, a 2-dev team made up of Nick Iorfino and Alex Reed, and they started in 2015 working on this. So 4 years.
Wow. It looks interesting, but these kind of physics games is, you know, again, it's kind of like that platformer kind of thing, and it's not for me.
Personally, I'm pretty down with the shadow puppet look, where the foreground is all like black shadow stuff. You have, like, I need to see some really unique feel to that before because I've seen so many games do it, and at this point I'm like, seen it. Not really keen on seeing more of it, so it's just it's a hard thing for me to really get into, just aesthetically. But it does look fun. The physics seem to be really nicely done. And it's a 2-dev team, which is pretty cool.
This is £6.19, so I've only got one review right now, fortunately, and they've put in just under 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the puzzles could be challenging, but were highly satisfying. Love the ability to explore the world, find hidden secrets, and dodge rocks and lava. Well worth it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's $8.99 US. So okay, so that next title is from Thursday, October 24th, and it is Profane. Profane is a time-based twin-stick shooter where you must face ruthless bosses in intense 1v1s. Play as Talal, the last herald, hunted by her siblings. Time is your currency and health. Use it to create ability combos and fight for glory on the leaderboards. So this is like a stress simulator, don't you think?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Not really my kind of thing, but it's like all that neon glow as well.
Oh yeah, the glow is way too intense. Needs to turn that down a bit, because I know what their idea is, but they just need to turn it down.
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of in the vein of Hyperlight Drifter, different aesthetic, of course. But so what happens is your health bar is time, and you can create combos using uptime, and so as you use abilities to kill the boss faster, you're also reducing the amount of time you have left. So,
right.
Yep.
Interesting mechanics.
Yeah, it's a unique idea, but for me, I think it would be a stress simulator.
Yeah, no, it's just not something that would interest me. I'm about relaxing, guys. Relaxing and thinking things through my games.
I do like twin stick shooters, and this one does look excellent. But probably not for me.
No.
But yeah, this is.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
As I say, the 27 reviews, and it's 96% positive.
Yeah, really well liked. It looked like the movement was really smooth, and the bullet hell section seemed fair, which is nice. Yeah. Carlos Izquierdo is the program producer. It's a 5-person team. Pablo Lopez, designer. Alberto Majado is programmer. Pablo Monroy is an artist, a writer, and Rodrigo Palomino is also an artist and a writer. So they had 2 writers work on this. That's kind of neat.
I'm not seeing people sink a lot of hours into this though. I've seen like most like 4.5 hours, and I think for the price point, I'm not sure, because it's $14.99. I don't think that's such.
Yeah, it's probably not a very long game, and hence I think their reference to the leaderboards. I think that's probably where they're hoping people get most of their gameplay, is playing over and over and over. Seems the people that bought it felt pretty happy about it, though.
Yeah.
$18.99 US. Yeah. Richard Spain. on a completely opposite, like, to Profane, we're gonna go to our visual novel of the week, which is Detective Kobayashi, which I cannot type. There we go. Aha. Detective Kobayashi. So this is take on the role of Detective Kobayashi, the one and only genius detective who has a reputation for solving any case, however dark and difficult, if he isn't playing games at the office or awkwardly hitting on girls, that is. So.
I looked at this and I thought this looks so interesting, and in the reviews that people have written, it says, there's a good amount of like point and click elements as well, and there's some hidden object mechanics too. So yeah, there's it's not just not just your basic visual novel. So this is definitely going on my wish list, because I'm intrigued by this, and it looks like there's quite lovable characters as well, and I do like the artwork as well. It doesn't feel like even the backgrounds, they don't look like your usual visual novel ones, because I see a lot of visual novel ones that are like set in a high school or something, and they've all got the same sort of similar backgrounds.
Whereas this one definitely has set pieces to really set the mood for every scene, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm not usually a visual novel guy, but this one, I have to say, does look very interesting. And yeah, apparently there's 4 chapters plus an extra chapter, and there's 5 main characters, each with their little blurbs here. Murata Itsuku seems to be the nice guy. Then you got the narcissist, got the lazy detective who never gets promoted. Possible love interest, I guess, who has an other side. And then, of course, the main character, who's a genius gamer virgin, loves idols, and also socially awkward. So he's an otaku detective.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's good price point as well. For visual novel, because you can find some of them like just absolutely ridiculous amounts of money. I've seen ones for like £22 or something like that. But no, this one is 10% off right now, and so it's £8.99. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of reviews for it right now, so I'm not seeing like enough to see how long it is. It's like the most I've seen, it's like 6 hours.
Yep. I do like how the main characters are dressed up in like Victorian with ties and stuff, and then like the rest of the world is just wearing normal modern clothing. They're like the stereotypical Victorian detective, but then everyone else is like dressed like normal. I find that funny. Really nice. Anyhow, so yeah, that is Detective Kobayashi, and it is $11.69 in US dollars. So our next title is Egress, by Fazan. They are a team out of Moscow, Russia. Fight for one of the many characters on the streets of Innsmouth with monsters. Obsessed with other adventurers. Keep your mind and stay alive in this madness island. Okay. Clearly not written by an English native.
No.
Yep. And I have to say, I don't say this often, but the light in this game is just straight up bad. The artwork is good. Like, there is good artwork and asset work in this game, but it's really harmed by the bad lighting. Now, this scene, lighting's fine there. There's scenes where the lighting is fine, but then there are other scenes where it's like, why? It's so bad. So that it kind of annoys me, the inconsistent lighting.
Yeah, it just takes you out of it a bit. But yeah, I was worried about this one, whereas again, problem with assets used, and when you turn as well, it seems has that really annoying sort of blur effect going on.
Oh yeah, radio blur.
Yeah,
or motion blur. But yeah, yeah, not too keen on that.
No.
But the combat looks really smooth. It's the camera. Sometimes the camera looks smooth, other times it doesn't. So I'm kind of, I don't know. It does have mostly positive reviews at the moment, 71%. So, and it looks like kind of a cool semi-modern alternative history, Souls-like. Maybe the combat seems kind of Souls-like.
Yeah. There's 13 characters with unique abilities, weapons, and fighting styles with their own goals in this city. Many different artifacts and consumable items that significantly change the gameplay. Hardcore combat system based on the abilities of heroes, dodges, this is weird. Abilities of heroes, dodges, melee attacks, and collected equipment. So yeah, that needs a sentence needs a revision.
Yeah, it says it is localized to English, but I would imagine that Russian is you're probably going to get the most natural sounding narrative in Russian. But yeah, it's besides that, I think this game does show a degree of promise. And 100 well, not all of that 108. Some 70, 80 people thought so too. So maybe check it out. Egress.
Yeah. Yeah, this has just come out of early access, it seems. So I'm seeing a lot of early access reviews. But yeah.
Oh, it's $12.74 US with 15% off.
Yeah, it's £9.68.
So really not too bad for the for the price.
Don't know how long it is though. I don't know how long it is.
Our next title.
Seeing quite because I'm seeing like
of
I don't know how long
variants.
it is because I've seen like people played less than half an hour or less than an hour on it on some of them. So yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So Friday, October 25th, we have the final game of the list, and it is a game that I am exceedingly impressed with. Actually, I saved the best for last. Well, I guess the release schedule did. It's Mo Astray by Archprey out of Taiwan. And it's got this long cinematic trailer, but let's see. With a really nice song. Okay, there we go. Gameplay. So you're this slime type thing, and one of your main mechanic is you can jump. You can attack your enemies by glomping onto their heads, and you basically eat their heads because you're a slime. But when you do that, you can get their memories and see what they saw, and it's neat. It's very neat. A little bit like morbid. It's pretty morbid considering that you're the slime and your enemy is just like, I'm just gonna eat you. Granted, the enemies seem mostly to be sort of zombies or monsters of some sort, but yeah. Oh, and I didn't read the blurb. Mo Astray is a pixel art side-scrolling action platformer. Lead Mo through mind-bending puzzles using special abilities, bizarre enemies, threatening traps, and ingenious level design awaits.
Yeah, I love the way this looks, because this is like very platformer kind of game. So yeah, it's not going to appeal to me, but the way this looks, it's just such beautiful pixel art. It looks amazing.
I kind of want the soundtrack for that song.
Well,
in the first trailer.
Well, lucky for you, you can buy the original soundtrack. £5.21.
You can.
Or get it in the bundle.
Yep. That's really tempting. It's on my wish list, and if I do buy this game, I'm probably getting the soundtrack with it. But my word, it's beautiful.
Quite often, do we?
I don't. No.
No. But yeah, this is amazing, and there's 157 reviews right now, and it's 96% positive, so that's amazing.
It looks so beautiful. My word. I feel like there's probably going to be some like really melancholy, touching story to it or something as well. Like it has that sort of post-apocalyptic where and there's boss battles. Oh, it looks so nice.
There's also different like mechanics. You've got different ways of getting through the levels as well. Like I think one of the levels, it looks like you're blown up like a balloon and you're slowly letting out air. So you're going through the level just. It looks so great.
Yeah, so they definitely advertise that they're going to gradually introduce you to different mechanics, and some mechanics are just going to be for certain levels, and that's also like a cool a way to change things up, to make sure that you're never getting bored. It looks so beautiful. Gosh. And I imagine it's going to make you emotionally identify with a slime. So,
yeah.
Which, I mean, any game that makes you emotionally identify with a slime is probably worth it. So.
But yeah, and it's seen various hours played on it, up to at least 12 hours. And it's 10% off right now, so it's £10.25. Although if you want it with the soundtrack, it's 28% off right now for £12.37. And seems that's pretty worth it.
Yeah. Likewise, US, it is 10% off. If you just want Mo Astray, that is $13.49, and the bundle is $16.54 with 28% off.
Yay.
So just $3.05 more, and I can get the soundtrack.
Making plans already.
Yes, it is on my wish list. This is the only title this week that I've felt out of the way that I was like, oh, this is a wish list item. I have to play this game someday. I don't know when, but someday I'll play this game. It's too pretty not to. Gotta check it out. But yeah, and that's our list. So, Roady, every week you grace us with your dishonorable mentions of the week.
I do.
I'm ready.
So yeah, this is so strap yourself in. I've got 4 titles this week. So,
oh no.
This is the first one. There you go.
Fado. Exotic. Fado is an old school indie RPG rooted in Irish myth. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Oh.
I know, like, we applauds a lot of like hand-drawn games, but this is a certain kind of hand-drawn one that I think maybe they shouldn't have done.
Yeah. It just does not come together. There's not enough movement, but at the same time, it is kind of cute. It's kind of cute. I wouldn't spend money on this, but it's kind of cute. It's like, it's like something you'd put on your fridge.
Yeah. Yes. You're right. I wouldn't spend money on it, and I certainly wouldn't spend $6.99 on it either.
Yeah, and it's $8.99 US. I would cover my fridge with this stuff. It looks cute, but yeah, I don't see why I would choose this RPG over any others.
It is 2 to 4 hours though. The dev has said. Someone's asked questions in the discussions, and the dev has responded. So that's
although I would say, I will say, when I was 13 and playing on Congregate, I would totally play this game. I will say that. Yeah, I've played and loved games that looked a lot worse than this, but because like sometimes they just had a very interesting story, or they were my first RPG kind of thing. So it's like, you know what? I think some people are gonna find this to be some enjoyable. At least it looks like a labor of love, unlike some things on this list.
So the next one I'm gonna show you is a bit of a sad one that it's on this list. It's a bit.
Oh really?
It's slightly upsetting. Yeah. So.
Hellion. Oh no. Mostly negative?
Yeah. So, this is this has a budget. Exploration. Yeah, this had a budget. This had a budget. It's you know, done really nicely and everything, but then the money ran out. And this has been in early access since 2017, and they just released it now without pretty much completing the game. And you know, there've been people, you know, a lot of people. You can see like how many people have bought the game and reviewed it. How many of those, you know, they've all obviously purchased it, and after 2 years they've not completed it. So I think that's really, really upsetting. They said zero gravity can't afford for further development on Hellion. There will be no new updates, bug fixes, not even any bug fixes, or any official changes to the game. However, since the game is playable and we believe it offers a unique gameplay experience, we want to keep it going for players who want to enjoy it. Hellion will leave early access without achieving goals we originally set out to do. In order to keep the servers up, we will continue selling the game on Steam. Since the game is not fully finished, the price will be lowered to $15 starting tomorrow, October 16th. Control over the official servers will be handed to Hellion's Discord moderators. Moderators will stay in touch with us for any important events that might occur. We're absolutely aware that many of you will find this news disappointing. This is a hard time for us. We invested a huge amount of effort and work into Hellion, and our hearts and minds were in this project for many years. Now, Hellion's development is coming to an end, and we are sad that our vision for the game was not fully realised. Once again, thank you for your support, ideas, reports, content you've created, and everything else you've done for this survival expedition. Thank you immensely. Zero Gravity Team.
Ooh, that's heartache right there. So will say that is how you properly write a press release. I think a disappointing press release that is properly written. It didn't pull any punches. It was very straightforward and honest. I appreciate that. They were like, this is how it is. And then they put an apology in there too. So I appreciate that. But
I'm just wondering, like, if this was like ever a Kickstarter. I don't think so. And I was thinking, if you've run it, you know, or if you're coming, you know, you're running out of money, maybe they could have done a Kickstarter and that would have been good for you know, getting word out there about this game as well. But you know, and it probably would have been quite successful considering how much work they've already put into it.
That is really unfortunate. It's like, oh, so sad.
But yeah, so if you're curious, this is £11.
Oh my gosh, I love these. I love some of these reviews. Games banned by his dev because apparently managing your resources when running a studio is hard. Is though. It is though.
It is.
Like, it is though.
But do you think they could have done a Kickstarter?
Maybe they could have. But I am sort of curious if they felt like that would go against, like, I don't know. It's a tough spot.
Because I don't think it goes against like anyone who'd already bought the game and had got it in early access. So you could say, look, you know, they could even put it out there. They have a Discord. They could have put it out there to the people, say, hey, you know, we're thinking of doing a Kickstarter. What do you guys think? Because the project needs more money going forward to complete it. So I think, you know, fans of the game would have said maybe that, you know, that would have been a good idea and help with promotion as well.
Yeah, maybe they could have done that, and it might have gotten them to the end line, and you know, just add some sort of rewards for people who have already bought it and who can pitch in as well. But that is sad. But the thing is, I know of studios I've worked with, I would say 3/4 of projects get canceled. Or go unfinished or partially finished. And many of them never see the light of day. This is sad, but this is most games end up like this. Maybe not specifically like out, released, and not finished, but most games will not see the end of the finish line, and they have to cut their losses. And we're going to see a lot of this with early access titles, because early access titles, you're jumping in at an earlier point in the stage of the development, and normally this would have been under wraps still, and we wouldn't have seen it end the way it does.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's why we stopped doing early access ones, because it's just like, you don't know.
It's no guarantee that's going to finish. So yep. Ooh, sad. That is sad. Okay, you've depressed me. What's the next one?
Okay. So
I felt like, oh, this is kind of cute. It's like a puppy. Aw. And then the next one is like, oh, this is sad. Too relatable. Right.
Okay. Well, this one may maybe get you like annoyed that ones like this are on Steam.
Right, Lanath. Oh boy. Oh boy. So the WIP files. So the sound files, I'm pretty sure I've heard them everywhere. Oh my word. Alright, Lanath is a horror RPG where you accumulate insanity and watch the world plunge into madness, generate randomized worlds and customized features to create a totally unique experience each time you play. Oh my gosh, this looks so bad.
Yep. And it's 15% off right now. It's £5.26, or full price £6.19. Why are you charging for this? This terribleness.
At least with Fado, I thought that the concept still worked. Like conceptually it functions. This I'm not even sure.
Yeah. This is developer Chris Bickney's. You've unleashed horror onto the Steam.
You have. I mean, first one, you know what? Get back to the drawing board. Make a second game. Make it better. Like, I'm sure you learned a lot. I'm sure this Chris learned a lot in the process of making this, and maybe they'll be able to start out from a better point, putting a positive spin on it. But you're not gonna get sales.
Yeah. And I've got one final one for you.
All right. I kind of know what this one is. All right. Yep. Biella. Movie tie-ins. Alright, let's get to the gameplay. Yeah, see, so it immediately has that movie tie-in, like, couldn't be arsed to animate anything properly look. Oh yeah, this looks like a demo CD that you would get in a cereal box.
Yeah. It's so bad. So bad. And you can get this for the grand price of $23.79.
$29.99 US.
It's ridiculous, like how the gameplay is, and it's like, I haven't even heard of this movie, to be honest with you. And that's what kind of makes it even worse. It's not even like a really well-known popular movie, and it's like, oh, here you go, they charge ridiculous amounts of money for the game as well, of a crappy game.
Oh, it's there's nothing unique here. I've not seen any interesting mechanics. It's just, and it's the same trailer twice. Yeah, some of the environment work is well done, but the character art is just, like, the character animation is just bad. And It's just nothing interesting. There's nothing interesting.
No.
Nothing of interest was lost. Okay. Yep. So, all right. Now that we've cleansed our palate, what in the list that we talked about is the best of the week, best of the list?
So, I definitely put Detective Kobayashi on my wish list. Definitely put that on there because the thing is, I really do like visual novels, but they can be a bit like the pacing can be a bit all over the place sometimes.
And really trite.
Yeah.
But, you know, some of them are just really well written, and this looks like it. I mean, I'm looking at dialogue, and all the dialogue bubbles I've read, it's like, oh, this looks like natural English.
Yeah.
Like, this is how people kind of talk.
And, yeah, there's sometimes it can be... I know it's like visual novel, like the novel, but they can like be a bit too wordy. You don't want that when there should be a bit more visualization to it, I feel. So yeah, and then this seems like it's got some extra gameplay elements to it as well. So yeah, I'm really, excited to get it eventually. And of course, Tangle Tower.
Oh yes, Tangle Tower.
I really want to play that. I really want to play the first game though, because I've not because it's on their website, but it's a Flash game, and I would need to try and get the plugin so I can play it, because we did play the grimoire or Detective Grimoire on Steam. Sorry, over Twitch. Played it over Twitch, and it was we all really loved it. We loved the story and just everything going on with it. It was great. But the art style is different than the second game as well. And I think that's because the previous game was done in Kickstarter. They had that Kickstarter money for it.
So best of the list is not one but two detective games.
Yeah, I do like my detective games. I do like murder mysteries, all those sort of goodies.
Those are nice. I do like murder mysteries. I mean, it makes for a good story when someone gets murdered, right? Like it's like
absolutely.
Why? Because it's like, why did they get murdered? Who did it? How did they do it? It's just all these interesting things that you get to like find out, and yeah, it definitely makes for an easy plot to construct. So
yeah,
good.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. I'm currently watching like on Netflix this detective show right now set in the 1920s in Australia. So
oh yeah. I like Netflix, especially for the international and detective shows. Like I feel like those always translate very well. Like out of Korea, Prosecutor Princess, which has a funny title, but out of Korea, it's basically like this sort of high up official has a daughter and she wants to get into work at the prosecutor's office. So of course, kind of gets like palms get greased and she gets basically bribed into that position, but then she actually has to work and become an actual prosecutor and do her job properly. And so it's this personal growth thing of the spoiled rich girl, and it's really well done. Actually, I quite liked it. Let me see, what's another one that was really good?
I'm watching Miss Phryne Fisher's Detective Agency or something.
Miss Friday Fisher. Oh, okay.
Phryne. Yeah, it's really good. I think if you like murder mysteries, you'd really like.
Oh yeah. And Silver Spoon, which is about police corruption in Soviet Russia. Which that was really good because again, it's about like this. No, wait, I'm confusing two ones. Silver Spoon is police corruption modern, but then there's another one called The Neophyte, which is police corruption in the Soviet Union. And one's about Silver Spoon is about a rich kid. He's the son of an oligarch who gets forced into working as a police officer for reasons. And then the other one is Neophyte, is another daughter of like not like middle level communist administrator who ends up working for in the police department as a CIS basically. And she uncovers a plot within the police department. Both of them are about corrupt police, which seems to be a popular theme in Russian like crime dramas. So not only are you solving crimes, but some of the crimes are being committed by the other officers. Nice. So it's this neat sort of like everyone has a knife behind their backs kind of situation. So anyhow, but yeah, that's.
But what's your favorite pick of the week?
There's no question. It's a Moe Astray. Like just Moe Astray. I need this game in my life.
I when I was looking through this, I did see one and I was this looks really good. But I've not heard about it anywhere else. Not on any of the usual.
Yeah, I know. Like Get Indie Gaming and a few other. Like I expect to kind of see a lot of the ones that really blow me away. Like, oh, look at this trailer, or like, look at this game. They never talked about it, and I was like, why'd you notice this? Oh, it looks so fun. So yeah, I need to check this out. But you know, that's why we do this show, to find awesome games. I'm really glad. But yeah, with that, chat, let us know what your favorite game of the list was, of course. And yeah, how about Roadypie? Well, where can the internet find you? What are you up to?
Well, you know, obviously you can find me most weeks on the Steam release, and hopefully I will be streaming something for Halloween. I hope. So I hope to see you on my channel, Twitch Roadypie. Sorry, twitch.tv/Roadypie. So I hope to see you at 9:30 UK time on Thursday.
Yep. Yeah, and our streams are excellent, always excellent. So it's just a very positive, fun experience. So you gotta check it out, folks. Some Americans may have to wake up a little early, but but yeah. And as for me, I'm gonna try to get back into streaming at least twice during the middle of the week, but we shall see. It's kind of between like getting the food prep. I'm doing that. I'm being a proper like adult, making my food, and just learning that. And yeah, I'm gonna be playing probably more Grim Dawn, most likely. Just lots of Grim Dawn. It's gonna be fun.
And don't forget to check our curator page.
Yes, our Steam curator page. It's got a ton of reviews on it. Most of them are informative, but yeah, we want to make sure you check that out. It's awesome. Oh yes, and of course, Puzzle Bunk Country. Yes, there is a time difference now between England and the U.S. That's weird, but yeah. But we have a Steam community, SRP podcast curator page. It's got every game that we've talked about, and we're going through the backlog slowly, getting those up as well.
So yeah, there are 119 reviews.
Yes, so, 119. There's going to be more.
Yeah, so plenty to look through.
So every game we've talked about, we'll have it up there, and as we play them, we'll add like an up or down review, or if we get one of our guest hosts has a review, like recommend or not recommend, etc. So yep. Yeah, so that is that. Please, this will be up on YouTube soon, so farewell to our YouTube friends.